Hello, everyone. My name's Brian. That's my brother Adam, and we are the Factional Fight Brothers. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for watching on YouTube or on Twitch later. Hello, everyone. We are playing Wurm online, like we always do. So we thought we might as well turn on the stream, play a little Wurm while we discuss all things Wurm, like we always do. How are you doing, Adam?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks.
You've been playing Wurm recently?
I've been working really hard on this terraforming job, and having a blast with it.
Nice. I have not been playing Wurm. I actually just got back from a vacation. Haven't really thought about. Well, I thought about playing Wurm, but I haven't been able to. I guess it's hard when you're traveling all over.
Yeah, where did you go?
Went all the way to Quebec.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I guess there's nobody from Quebec here.
There could be.
But a French-speaking province. French comes first there. And you're not allowed to turn right on a red light.
I'm gonna say hi to Kayoko and Kayutha. How's it going? And at the beginning of the chat, we got a couple subs, so thank you so much for those subs. It was Zenemir. Who else was it? It was Deathwind and Kayoko. Linus.
Oh, thank you so much for those subs. That's crazy. We haven't even started yet.
Yeah, we were saying that just as they were coming in, we were saying we should add the little notification on the starting soon screen so that we get the little pop-up. I'll have to get you on that.
Anyway, so what have you been doing in Wurm while I've been away?
Well, if you come down that way, yeah, just head down. Oh, well, I guess you might have to go around the path there and go down. You can come and see what I've been up to. A lot of it is just clearing the rock away. I haven't quite gotten just to the point of surface mining. I mean, I was showing you a little bit earlier, and we did do a little bit of surface mining. But for the most part, I've been working on clearing away the dirt, because I'm the type of person who likes to get things done in order, right? Like, I know that I can go up there and surface mine, but then I'm going to get to a point where I'll have to dig again. I'd rather just get all the digging done first, then do all the surface mining, then put all the dirt back. I just feel like it's a better flow that way.
I see. Have you been chopping down all these trees?
I haven't. I've been chopping down as I go, so as I need. But I can describe like what I'd like to start with in terms of like what we should be working on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work out a ramp, and I think that ramps are one of the hardest things in this game when it comes to terraforming, especially when there's not a nice land formation for that ramp.
Right. So what are you thinking of?
So, let's see. Let's see here. I'll show you. You want to come up here with me and I'll show you?
Let's do it.
So we're right now in the perimeter of the villages. So there's our factional fight village up on our right here, and then there's the new village that's on our left, and we're sort of like going right between them. And then there's this road that used to be right here on this path here, and you can still see some of the cobblestone.
Yes.
Right? So I'd like that road eventually to go back to being flat and level with this area up here.
Okay.
Okay, so but it's dug down right now just to expose the rock on the next level. But I'm gonna, once that rock has been surface mined properly, this whole road's gonna come back up, and what I'd like is for there to be a ramp that leads down this way. Now, the other thing that we have to consider is that there's a road from the side of our village, that one that you were thinking about heading down before. I was telling you to go around. because this whole thing is like all messed up here. But I want this road that comes down from that building to meet with this one on a little platform that's on this tile here.
Okay.
And yeah, it's on this tile here. Okay, so it's going to meet on a flat platform right here, and then it's going to continue down and meet up with that road that's down there. And sort of, I'm not sure exactly how it's going to turn out, to be honest, but the hope is that it smoothly transitions.
It's one
into that
tile.
road.
It's one tile away.
Right. So this has to go down. This has to go down somehow. Now, the other thing to consider is that we don't have much space to work with. This ramp from here can go steeper a little bit. Right now, it goes from the top, it goes 8 slope, then 14 slope, then 17, and then 20 to give that sort of arch. But if worst comes to worst, all of these can get turned to 20 to bring it down as low as it possibly can get, which we might need to figure
How
that out.
many tiles do we have to work with?
So now it's hard to say. It doesn't necessarily have to go right level with this road, right? Like there could be a point where it's like a little bit slanty on that road, because that road's pretty, I'm not sure exactly. I haven't quite fully worked it out. I was hoping that it was all just going to come together once everything got mined down.
We're just going to mine it down and it'll just work itself out.
Well, the good thing about mining it down is that you could always use the dirt to raise it back up however it needs to be raised back up, right?
That's true.
So the plan is just mine it down and then use dirt to try to figure it out in terms of how much everything needs to go.
Well, so this is what you've been doing. You've been digging dirt. Do we have to continue to dig dirt, or is this the plan? We're going to build...
So the last dirt, this is the last dirt that I need to dig before, and that's this little area right here. The problem is that once this area is dug, this road is going to be so mangled.
I see.
So the point, the thing that I'd like to do is to dig this dirt, mangle the road, get the rock exposed, surface mine the whole thing down as low as we need it to go.
Doesn't look like we need much surface mining, unless you're wanting. Yeah, it doesn't look like we need much surface mining. Maybe just one more here. Maybe you should dig down this corner.
Yeah, this corner needs to be dug down for sure.
Which is not so bad.
But once that digs down, the road is going to get very mangled.
Now, I heard that there was that digging
update
to the ground.
Yeah, dig to pile.
Dig to pile. Okay. So let me figure that out, because I still have the old dig going.
Right.
Did you figure out, is there still a reason to have the old dig binded to anything?
I don't think so. I since I've changed to dig to pile, I haven't found a situation where I need it back. Because if I need dirt to come back into my inventory, all I need to do is open up a pile of dirt and pick it up. Or just pick it up from the pile.
Oh, it really goes right under you, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, it goes under. It works in the same way as, let's say, surface mining. Right, so wherever you're standing, the first couple will drop at your feet, and then the third one creates a pile.
On the tile that you're standing on.
On the tile that you're standing on, or the tile that you're closest to. Now, it does do that thing where sometimes if you're right in the middle, it'll sort of like sometimes put it on one tile and sometimes put it on the other, depending on where you are exactly.
Can't really...
I mean, what I was doing was every time I'm like digging, in the meantime, if I see a pile that has like, not that many dirt in it, I'll just consolidate the piles sort of thing.
Okay, so while we do this, what's been going on with Wurm since I've been gone?
Well, how about before we do that, we open up our beers?
Sure. What do you got today?
That started. I got a very special beer today. I don't know if you can see that.
Chocolate.
Yeah, it's from a brewery
Lots.
called Mill Street Brewery. It's in Toronto where we live. It's in downtown Toronto, and this is a seasonal beer that they just came out, brand new style beer. It's called a chocolate cherry stout. Now, stouts are very thick, dark beers. And this one has hints of chocolate, hints of cherry, but it's mostly a stout, so it's not like sweet or anything like that. But it does have hints of the chocolate and cherry. And I tried this for the first time on Thanksgiving dinner, and it was delicious.
It's good.
What about you? What do you got over there?
I have this one called Cruiser.
Okay.
It says it's an all-day pale ale. I don't know what that means. That means that we can drink it any time of the day. I don't know what would stop us from drinking other ones any time of the day. But that's what it looks like. It's got a motorcycle with a skull face on it. And, of course, the skull has to be safe. It's got to be wearing that helmet there.
So that Cruiser is from another
Amsterdam brewery.
Yeah, Amsterdam brewery. That's
here,
also in Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, haven't tried it before. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah. I've tried that beer before. It's delicious as well. It tastes very much like an ale.
Guarantee it to last all day, yeah.
All right. Cheers.
It's a very, very, I would say it's very sweet, almost.
Okay.
For a beer,
Yeah.
anyway.
I know it has like that bitter taste to it. At least it's a foretaste. The forefront, the initial taste has this bitterness to it.
It's got definitely a bitter aftertaste.
Or is it a bitter aftertaste?
Yeah.
All right. So let's get this.
Very nice.
Let's start working on that surface mining up at the top of that ramp.
Let's do it. I would assume something here, right? And thank you, Validate, for the sub.
Yeah, Validate. Thank you so much.
So you're gonna have to point the way here.
Okay, so back up. We're gonna come over here. Now I've already started this process. Let me just double check here.
So we're starting from here. This guy.
Yeah, you see this whole area up
26.
here. If you can point this way.
Yeah.
This ramp, I've already brought this down.
It looks
a bunch.
pretty low, yeah.
Right, like it used to be all up at this height.
Are you going
across.
to remove this as well, or is this the actual height? This is the actual height. I
That's
see.
the actual height. Yeah,
Okay, that's
that
good.
fits right. Once the dirt goes back, it makes that all flat. I've already fixed that to be perfectly, and then this ramp is going to come down here. So I sort of worked all the way to this point, and we can just continue from here, like mining this area down. So the way I like to do ramps is I like to mine a tile that's flat, like this one here is flat. And then I'll mine the next one flat, and then the next one flat until it's like not flat because it's too low. And then I'll go back and then I'll take this flat tile and make it slanted, maybe I've been doing 18 or the next one is 13 or 20.
All right, so this one we should try an 18-ish.
Right. I figure it doesn't have to be perfect because this is the rock.
Yeah.
And we could even go a lower. I'm not even sure. But no. That one's keep. Okay, well.
Are you sure?
Not sure
It's only
if you
9
followed what I was
slope
trying
up.
to say.
Well,
I know.
This is only 9 slope up, so I figured it's pretty much level.
I'll say my strategy again. I like to make one tile flat, which was this one.
Yeah.
And then I make the next one flat to it, and the next one flat to it.
I have everything
then
at least somewhat flat.
And then I go back to this one, and
you're going to lower it to
lower this
whatever,
one,
20
and I
or
flatten
18.
the next one, and flatten. Yeah, sort of like in layers, like in steps. I know it doesn't.
I thought
have
we
to
were
be
already at that point of lowering the next one. Okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no.
It looked almost level. Anyway,
I'm so like, I don't know why, but my brain needs it to be like, just like I even like make it so like right to the, I know it doesn't
little
have
OCD.
little OCD. Yeah.
That's okay. I'm like that in some things. Maybe not mining, because you're the miner. But, and the thing is that when you said, we've got to do all this surface mining, my mind went straight back to, like, I looked at this hill. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? And oh my God, Moxie on Twitch. Thank you very much, Moxie, for that sub. If I look here.
Yeah, and validate, you're saying you thought that it's a monthly thing. So yeah, the subscriptions last a month. And then with Twitch Prime, if you have a an Amazon Prime account, then every month you'll get a new free subscription to any channel of your choice. So yeah, that's a monthly thing. So thank you for using your monthly subscription on us.
And anyway, what was I saying? I looked at the amount that it looked like I needed to surface mine. I wasn't quite sure what you were going for. And my mind went straight back to that time at Autumn Twilight when we were digging down that mountain. And it took forever. Like, it took so long to mine that down. Mm-hmm. I was actually watching our what do you call it? The village updates.
Okay, yeah. You were telling me
every week it was like basically me saying, "Oh, it's like our hill, like we spent all week on it and it went down like a little bit. Like you could see it went down just a slight bit and then a slight bit and then a slight, and it was just I can't believe that you would want to do it again here." But then we started doing it, and definitely something has changed.
Yes.
It seems like it's a lot easier, and I feel like I remember this change. I remember talking about this change with you, and then I forgot about it because I haven't had to do it. What exactly has changed since the days of Autumn Twilight? And like, you could be surface mining, 10 times and not get it up once.
Right.
Not bring it down once.
The way it used to work was that no matter what your skill was, everybody had a certain percentage chance at making the slope go down when surface mining. I think it was about a 20% chance. So 1 in 5 hits on average would make, the slope go down. Of course, as you like leveled up, you're getting faster actions. So higher mining was still faster at surface mining, but it was still 1 in every 5 actions would make it go down once. So it definitely felt like it took forever to surface mine. So they changed that so that as your level goes up in mining, your percent chance of causing the slope to go down goes up.
Ooh, so it is much faster, it seems. I don't even have the greatest mining. I know you have the greatest mining. Look at you go.
It's not great, but yeah, it's good.
My mining, and I've never really did much with it. It's at 69.2.
Okay, so you're getting there.
And I feel like it's like I'm actually doing something. I remember when we were at Autumn Twilight, I felt like I was doing nothing. Like I just felt like I'm sitting there surface mining and not bringing it down, and here you are bringing down like tile after tile after tile. I'm sitting on the same tile trying to bring it down, and it's not going down because my skill was so low. So I think what I ended up doing at that time was I switched to another pickaxe for just skilling, like a skiller pickaxe, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything anyway, I might as well skill up my mining. And surprisingly, surface mining at, I can't remember which level I was at, maybe in the 50s, maybe in the 40s or 50s, the surface mining gave a lot of skill for that
Right.
level. I don't know if it still does, but
It still does, yes.
yeah, at the time it gave quite a bit, and I was skilling much faster than actually mining in a mine. And I don't know if it's because the action of the surface mining is much shorter than the action inside of like doing a mining action, which starts at what, 15 seconds now?
20
seconds. Still 20 seconds. 20 seconds. I think it was 30 seconds when we started or something. Can't remember. It was a long time. It was a long.
Yeah.
Each action.
I did find when we first started that mining ceilings and floors gave faster skill because the actions were shorter. I mean, it's so weird because the actions are shorter, but so you get less skill because the skill that you get is dependent on how long the action is. But for some reason, if you're doing lots of short actions versus lots of long actions, you get better skill with the short actions. At least that's my experience anyway.
There's something to think about if you're really thinking about level up mining.
Yeah, or any skill in this game for that matter.
Most skills you don't really have that kind of variety.
Well, here's the thing: if you're interested in optimizing skill gain, right? It takes an analysis of the numbers, but you absolutely don't have to play that way. You totally can just play however you enjoy playing, and the skills will go up, right? The skills will just go up, and so a lot of people play that way.
Much like the way that I do.
Right.
And not so much the way that you do these days.
Well, I mean, I've always been
like
the type
that.
to optimize. It's one of the things
that
I like.
Part of this game, yeah. I mean, that's almost a game within the game. What would you call that?
Absolutely. It's like a meta game.
The meta game.
Mm-hmm.
You go between each skill and you try to map out the best way to maximize your skill gain on it, or to maximize the best way to do something like surface mining, which I think brings me to like a discussion that we had in a previous video where we said we wanted to talk about all of the things that we've talked about before when we first started. The tutorials that we used to do, which are probably dated these days. And that was 2012. And that brought me in discussion, like maybe like you know a lot more about the game. The game has changed a lot. We could redo some of these tutorials again.
Right.
And then I thought about what was the reasons that we did those tutorials to begin with. I mean, the gaming landscape has changed a lot since we first started.
Like in this game, yeah, for sure.
Just in this game and just in games in general.
Okay.
For example, it wasn't so much a normal thing to terraform or to surface mine in games. Like it was a very a strange concept at the time. It
like
wasn't
when we first
so
started
mainstream.
playing, and the thing that we noticed immediately about this game was that it wasn't like any other game in that regard.
So that's how we kind of framed those videos at the time. And we did come from an EverQuest background, which in turn is basically like a World of Warcraft background because of how much World of Warcraft borrowed from EverQuest. They both are a system of classes where you have to level to progress by fighting mobs in groups or solo. Like it's basically, they're very similar in its concepts. And so I feel like the way that we did those videos was to reference the differences between those two types of game styles, two types of games, between Wurm and between EverQuest. And we broke everything down to like 7 pillars or something, we call it, like 7 different distinct styles of Wurm. I can't remember what they were.
I'm not sure if you would call them styles, but they're like the game
Foundational gameplays
elements. Yeah.
Elements.
The foundational gameplays. Yeah.
Gameplay elements. Yeah.
They included things like combat, but also crafting and terraforming and those sorts of things. Whereas, let's say in a game like World of Warcraft, you have combat, and then you have more combat, and then you have more combat, and that's pretty much the whole game.
And they throw in some crafting.
And there's some crafting, yeah.
But
the purpose of the crafting was specifically geared for combat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, it's not quite like the landscape has completely changed. Minecraft took care of that, which, of course, Minecraft, as most of us know, was based off of this game. Of course, with the notch connection.
Right.
And then you take Minecraft, and then that became such a mega hit. And then all of a sudden, you have games that are, instead of copying EverQuest, they're copying Minecraft for their inspiration. And now we have so many games that take this type of the gameplay elements for granted. So it's no longer like, hey, look what I can do. I can terraform the ground, and because everyone's going to be like, well, I could do that in my game now, or right. I could. It's like, what does Wurm offer? So the question really is, if we were to make a series of videos for players that don't play the game anymore, or have never played the game, sorry, what would you tell them about Wurm these days? How would that narrative change now, knowing that there's so many games out there that do similar gameplay elements that Wurm do? And I would definitely like to hear anybody in the chat. What would you tell someone about Wurm to get them excited about the game, or to get them to know what kind of game Wurm is?
Now, this was one thing that we totally struggled with at the beginning when we first made videos. The whole purpose of the videos were to get the word out about this game and try to explain why we love it so much and what about this game is makes it so unique and different from other games that, and all of those things I think are still there. But you're right. There's a lot of other games that are coming out these days that have those same elements, like, terraforming and the freedom to build whatever you want to build and that sort of stuff. But I think what makes this game stand out from all of those other games is just how much time this game has had to develop and to find its own path within all of those game elements. All these new games that are coming out have, like any other new game, sort of just like the rough, basic systems. Like the systems they have in place are very new. And they haven't had the time to develop and to change and to adjust to meet the needs of the players. Whereas in this game, the development has been strong for so long. The development where the developers are listening to players' feedback, implementing changes that are based on that feedback to make the systems that much better and that much more fulfilled. And then they continue repeating that process over and over again. Like, for example, the dig to pile that we just showed.
Okay,
that was a relatively recent addition.
You can't
make sure that
tell a new player.
Sure.
You know what I love about this game? Digging to a pile.
No. But it's not the dig to pile that the new player needs to know about. It's that the developers have consistently been on these little things over many years, and they come out with updates almost weekly now where they're addressing these little things. And I think that people who play video games understand that when a brand new game comes out, there's gonna be problems with it. There's gonna be bugs. There's gonna be systems that aren't complete, that haven't fully experienced the, thousands of people playing it and giving feedback to the developers. It takes time for the developers to fix all the issues and to make things just right. And the thing that this game has over all those other new, fancy, shiny games is that it has had that time. And the developers have been so active and strong at making sure that this game fixes all those little things and that it's meeting the expectations of the player.
Yeah, let's look at the chat a little bit. Validate.
Sure.
You said you think the crafting is still the best here. All right, let's just look at that. Mostly every game has some kind of crafting.
Mm-hmm.
Like Guild Wars had crafting. Didn't they have crafting?
Sure. Yep.
EverQuest had crafting. EverQuest 2, World of Warcraft. These are the games that came way before, that were centered around a combat-centric gameplay. And a lot of games still are centered around that. So how do you take crafting, like Wurm's crafting, and make it seem like a totally different thing than those games? Now, I was talking to Adam about this a little earlier. Imagine this. Imagine you just got onto an elevator with someone that would love Wurm. And you have the time that the elevator takes to take you from the level that you were on to the floor that you're going to go on. So roughly it's about 30 seconds. And you have that time to tell them what Wurm's all about and why it's different and why they would love it. So let's say we have that much time to convey why Wurm's crafting system is so much better than everybody else's. What would you say?
What would I say? How about what would you say? I have a real hard time with explaining this game to others that I know might like it, but
so I don't know that you can in that time. I mean, maybe you can. I don't think I can successfully tell people why this game is special.
Here's what I would say. I would probably relate it to Minecraft only because, like, if you have 30 seconds, I think Minecraft is a good place to start only because people know what Minecraft is. And they have a sense of what it might be. And maybe if you sense that there's the type of people who might like this game, chances are they probably played Minecraft and enjoyed it. Right? Because there's a lot of elements to Minecraft that is the same.
Now, for our interpretation, I should say, about this whole elevator pitch, let's say we have a video pitch. We have one video to explain in 30 minutes, an hour. Yeah, an hour. No one's going to watch. In maybe 10 minutes. I can't see somebody watching a video about Wurm that doesn't play Wurm at all for more than 10 minutes to figure out whether they like it or not. So let's say we have 10 minutes to tell people this is why you should play Wurm. If you like this, you will like Wurm. And you can't just say Wurm has crafting. You can't just say Wurm has digging, even though we, let's say, used to be able to do that. Now,
So what do you say?
I mean, you could start, Wurm has, like, the depth to Wurm's crafting system is crazy. It's just, like, insane. The problem is that, and the problem that I've always found was that I never liked the crafting systems in, World of Warcraft or in basically any game.
So what's the
Wurm.
reason? What's the reason why you didn't like the crafting system in other games?
It took a lot of time, and it was like a side game to the real game, which was the combat.
Okay. I mean, it can't be that it's because it took you a lot of time, because Wurm is no different. It takes you a lot of time. Right? If you like this crafting system, but you didn't like the other crafting system, time can't be the thing that caused you to not like the other.
But remember that, especially in EverQuest, you couldn't actually build anything.
Okay, yes.
Right? And you had to gather all these materials, but the only way to gather them is by killing mobs that would allow you to collect them. Mm-hmm. Or you had to buy them from the merchant, which was just a money sink. And then you would put together a bunch of items that you would then just sell because you don't need them. They were just there to help you level. And you would make lots and lots of them and then sell them to a merchant, lots and lots more, until you got to the point where your skill was good enough to create an item that was actually useful. Right? That's not how this game is.
Right.
Instantly you can create tons of items that are instantly useful.
Right. Here, Mr. Crevisto gives a really important point. I think that this is at the heart of what you're trying to say. He says, one major difference in Wurm crafting system is that instead of replacing an item with the next one with slightly higher stats, you improve your existing items. Your first made tools that you make at the beginning could potentially be improved all the way to the end game.
Yeah, that is true.
I think that's a huge thing about this game that makes it stand out amongst others.
I think the person already has to have an interest in crafting to enjoy that little statistic.
Well, I think that this game in general, you can't convince a first-person shooter person, like a player who only plays first-person shooters. I don't think you're going to convince that person to play this game. You know what I mean?
So the question is, how did we end up playing this game?
I mean, we already enjoyed games that were MMO-style games that had crafting in them, that had social aspects in them, that had, guilds and that sort of thing already in them.
But we never liked the crafting in those games.
I mean, I wouldn't say that we never liked them. I wouldn't say I loved them or that was the main focus of the gaming that I did, but, we did the crafting in those games.
Very small amounts.
Okay.
I remember there was actually crafters, people that would love to craft in EverQuest, and they became big, names. In Vanguard.
Okay.
Vanguard's whole thing was the fact that there was an entire crafting, gameplay element, like focus. You could just do crafting and not do any combat. It wasn't entirely true in the sense that it was fun, but it wasn't like the thing to do in Wurm. It didn't replace combat, if that makes sense. They tried their best to make it seem like it could, but it wasn't a replacement for combat in Vanguard.
Right.
Same with diplomacy. So there are three things were combat, crafting, and diplomacy, which was
Yeah, I
really
remember that.
cool. And I really wish they would actually include diplomacy or some kind of card game in this game. That would be the best. So like I can't remember exactly how it worked, but it was very similar to like other card games. How cool would it be to have a little game like a card game in Wurm, where you could go and you can compete with people and earn and collect like decks and stuff throughout this game.
That would be cool if the items were like the cards were like items in the game.
Cards are items in the game, yes.
Yeah, if cards are items in the game.
Same thing in Vanguard.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And you would collect your deck, and then you would pick specific cards for your game, and then you would just play against the other person. And
yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Or maybe like a coin game. Do you think there's any like coin or number games you can use to transfer funds or something? You know, like a betting game.
I totally think that would work perfectly in this game, where coin games or betting games, dice games, that would work really cool.
But the only way to play would be if you had a table, a couple chairs.
Okay, a specific table.
You can't just go up to someone in the forest and play. You'd have to like actually have some kind of table built with some chair, like any table and any chairs, like a bench. Doesn't matter.
See, this conversation just turned into.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
Where it came out. Awesome. I like that idea. Yeah, like it validates saying like what I was thinking. He enjoyed Vanguard and the diplomacy game, but he can't see that for Wurm. Like I can't see diplomacy being a thing. But what
diplomacy can't be
is where like you can create these cards or collect them or somehow like it would be like a card collecting game sort of thing where and then inside of where you would be able to initiate a game with somebody else.
Yeah, maybe like 7 to 10 different cards, and then with that you can play a simple game with someone for something or another. I mean, it doesn't fully fit. It could be like rock, paper, scissors or something like simple. It could help you solve disputes or something. We could put together a whole tournament surrounding that. Where you fight off against somebody. I don't know what people think about that kind of. So let's like with the crafting system in Vanguard, it was very much a mini game. Right? It was very much like instead of just a timer going off, there was actions that you had to press at certain times depending on what was going on with what you were doing. And there were quality levels. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So let's see. Wurm needs a chessboard, table, and chess pieces. Which would be an actual use for a toy, I would assume, making skill. A toy making skill. Yes.
And hey, Buddha, how's it going? That would be cool.
It would be everything that of course, checkers goes hand in hand with chess. And I wonder if you could do something like that where initiate a game and then just have the camera focusing on a spot in the table, and then you could be moving the objects on the table now that we can put objects on tables. And you would need to have every single piece of the chess set. You'd have to make each one.
Yeah, I almost feel like the place item system would work perfectly. you don't have to make it the system so that you can only make proper moves. Like that you are only able to move the knight in the L shape or whatever. You make it like in real life. You have everybody sets up the board and you have to agree upon the rules and everybody has to follow the rules. But in real life, I'm able to take that knight and literally put it anywhere I want.
Let's
It's
say
up
you
to the
could
other
have
person to say, you're not allowed to do that.
so pieces made out of marble and slate. Yes. You could also have pieces made out of wood, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Stone. Like, I wouldn't even care. Like, make it out of anything. Everyone could have their own little pieces.
Totally.
Huh? Maybe you could have, like, a little bag. So, like, a chess piece bag. And you could put all your chess pieces in there. And that's all that fits in it. And then when you want to play, you just bring your bag over. You right-click the bag. Or you activate the bag. You right-click the chess table. And then it puts the pieces down on the chess side.
You don't think that they should make you manually place all the pieces in the
No,
right
I
spot?
don't think that should happen because by the time that's done, you don't want to play anymore.
Maybe. Yeah, so like have a function where it's like, set the pieces. That'd be kind of hard. I can only imagine. The more I'm looking at this ramp, the more I'm feeling like it's not gonna work properly.
We're doing the ramp. Yeah. What's wrong with the ramp? What's
Okay, so I'm gone down to this point here. Let's see. I'll keep going here, but you see this bottom corner? This.
Yeah.
How do I show you? Like the corner that I'm standing on right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoops. That's 9. Wait, let me double check that. It's 8. It's 8 slope less than the level of the road. So this corner is going to be brought up 8. I'm going to bring this corner down to that point, right? Like where it's like 8 above that one.
All right.
And
I'm seeing
sort of where this has to
bottom one. 8 slope only, eh?
Yeah. So this tile border that's here is going to be 8 slope slanted that way. Okay. So this corner, when I'm done, is going to be where the bottom of the ramp. Okay. Then the next one is 25 slope up, and then the next one is 16 slope up. Okay. So let me just count this out here. It's so much easier once I get to the end of this. So let's just wait till that. But I'm feeling like that platform there is just going to be so low that we're not going to be able to make the ramp up to that house or the side of the deed there.
Uh-oh.
Now that it's okay, like if we scrap that whole ramp there, I'll just have to spend some time getting rid of the ramp and making the road wrap around or do something else. Maybe divert that road out to the main road.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something's going to have to happen over there. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, what were we actually talking about? We were talking about what makes Wurm special. What makes Wurm the game that the special game that we play. What makes it special, and how do you convey that to a player that has never played this game before?
Now, I've been watching other streams, and a lot of new players seem to be popping up. Like on Catspur's stream just the other day, or was it just yesterday even?
Mm-hmm.
She got a brand new player to download Wurm and try it out.
And how did she convince this player?
All it took was to show them the farming.
Mm.
And I think that player came from playing games like Life is Feudal, which is another one of these games that,
basically another game. And thank you for that Twitch Prime sub. Dark Lighter.
Dark Lighter.
Yeah, Dark Lighter.
So they came from basically a game that's just basically like Wurm. essentially.
So I feel like, so I came to the conclusion myself was there's no way to highlight what makes this game special in that short a time.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong. There's just no way. And I think we even came to that conclusion, back in 2012. And I think our goal at that time was, let's create a series of videos that showed people what made this game special.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so we had that first video that kind of like did an overall overview of everything, and then we did all these other videos. I think the next video was just us surviving in Wurm. Like we had a destination, we were gonna go there, and we were gonna create something out of nothing. That was like the first goal. It was like the journey, and then the next goal was the transformation, right?
Like,
and it's not even the transformation that's the...
Like, what do you mean by transformation?
The transformation of the land,
right.
And like, and you would say, okay, you can just replace that by showing a time-lapse video. But the problem is, it's not that change, it's not that time lapse that convinces people to play. It's how you get there. It's like the journey is more important than the result, sort of thing. So it's like, that's, I think, what convinces people, and I think what happened was that turned into just like a lot, just so many videos. And we did a video on almost, not everything, but like a lot of things. So, should we do it again? Is this what we have to do?
We've tossed this question around a bunch. Should we do it all over again, starting from the beginning? Like, there was so many times, like, throughout our recording where we look back in everything that we've done and we're like, we can't do it again. Like, we can't do another episode on farming because we have this other episode that we did on farming. So why would we even talk about farming again? But in hindsight, I almost feel like that was like not the right way to go about it. Partially because of the way that people watch videos. They don't necessarily go back to watch every old video that we made. I do the same thing when I watch other people. I don't want to watch a video that was made 3 years ago. I want to watch a video that was like made just last week, or even one that's like happening live. That's what I want to spend my time doing. So I don't think that it's wrong to continually talk about the same thing again and again, especially if we love it, or it's what we love to do, or what we think is so good about this game. We want to say it. We should say it again, and again, and again, and again.
And what I think has been like the biggest change is just the streaming landscape itself. You're saying right. Watching, I would rather watch a video live. That wasn't really an option back when we started.
That's right. Totally wasn't an option.
It was like very small amount. Even the last time we streamed, which was not in 2012. Can't remember when it was. We there was none of the stuff that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
This whole Streamlabs thing, this whole the way that Twitch works wasn't even close to the way that the landscape for streaming has kind of blossomed.
Right.
Yeah, I guess we should do a 24/7 farming stream. No, that sounds like a Casper thing.
No.
Validate. The main thing that keeps me coming back and sticking around is your videos. 75% of them. 75%, and then add Casper and Gamester vids. I'd like to see you guys make a new set of tutorial videos. Okay, so you want to see us make something like 30-minute videos on each subject. I don't know if the way that we're doing videos right now, we could do in a 30-minute segment.
Right.
But we might be able to do the tutorial portion of it in 30 minutes. That's a possibility.
So
We'll see.
the idea that we have thrown around right now is this. We do these kinds of streams where we turn on the video and we're doing something. And we're chatting about Wurm. And we take some time out of that stream. Let's say it's a 2.5 hour stream or a 3 hour stream or whatever. We take like a half hour out of that time and we begin a tutorial. Later, we clip that tutorial out of the video and post it in a separate sort of like section on YouTube. So that's the idea that we have thrown around.
And I don't know if I want to do it this way, but I wanted... Okay, so... I think I mentioned it before where I wanted to do something like... We talk about whatever the profession, the subject matter. We talk about how it is. I don't know if we want to talk about how it was. And then we do a little bit about how we want it to be.
Huh. Here's the thing. I'm not sure if the how we want it to be should fit into tutorial.
I don't know. Maybe it
You know what I mean?
does.
Like, it for sure fits in somewhere, but not necessarily in tutorial, because the purpose of tutorial videos, you know, people who go to seek out tutorial videos, all they care about is how do I do it? You know what I mean? They're not like there to...
Do they
They're not
really want to
searching for
know
the-
how to do it more than what about what you're doing is interesting for me to want to play this game?
Well, that's the question. Are we making videos to attract people to the game, or are we making videos to help people learn the game?
Do people still want to learn the game?
Yeah.
Almost? Huh?
Well, okay, there's definitely the aspect of getting people to become attracted to the game, to like the game in the first place, but that's not what a tutorial video would be for.
I think what we need to do is, we're going to have some tutorial videos of what we think people are going to want to know about.
Mm-hmm.
But how about you guys? What do you want to see us talk about in a tutorial video?
Make wish list videos for how you want it to be. Isn't that like every one of our videos? You know, like whenever we get together to make videos, it always turns into wish list videos. You could put in, this is how it might develop. Yeah, we could. Like, my feeling is that there's definitely a place for the type of video that's to attract new players.
All right.
Like, this would be like first impressions or, you know, those types of videos. And then there's tutorial videos that are geared for people who are already hooked, who are already playing, who get stuck or can't figure it out, but want to learn, so they go search a video for it, and it teaches them how to play the game. Teaches them tricks that they wouldn't otherwise know, but those videos are definitely for people who are already hooked and convinced that to play the game.
All right, I'm going to start writing some of this down.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I mean, the way that we've always done this, just everybody know, we have this one document that we share with each other.
Yeah.
And we just keep adding stuff to it. This document's so long. 100 and... Actually, it's still loading here. 120 pages.
It's 120
of just
page
notes
document.
of like what we've talked about. All right, so here we go. Papyrus
That we've
making.
got 120. You know, I started a new document as well that is
You
sort
have
of
not shared
independent
with
from
me.
that one. I haven't shared with you yet. I kind of wanted to keep it separate from you.
That's fine.
Mostly so that I would have something to say that would catch you off guard.
And has it worked?
Yeah, there was a couple
Do you
times.
have anything?
Do I have anything? You know what? I stopped using that document, but let me just take a look at what I have written. So this ramp, if we go back to this ramp, I'm finding that to get the ending right, to get the ending just right,
Yeah.
we need to dig one more corner here. So I'm doing that right now.
Oh, really?
Because not only does that tile border that I was mentioning there needs to be flat there with the road. But of course the next tile also has to be flat so that it's flat. Like as you come off the ramp, the next tile after the ramp is done, that tile needs to be flat too, right?
Yes.
Right. So that's why I have to dig the next tile.
Oh, great.
So that we can surface mine the next one flat. We didn't think about that.
All right. So what makes this game the most interesting to watch as a tutorial? Okay, that's not what you want. You want to start from the beginning. You want to say, if a player just started, what would they need to learn?
You know, the question I think that we need to answer is, who are we making this video for? Right? Who is it for?
We're making it for... I don't know. We're making it for Buddha. Let's say.
Buddha wants us to talk about papyrus.
Yeah, I wrote that down already.
Yeah, okay.
No, but let's say we were actually making it for a new player.
Now, is that player already all in, right?
Okay, so if we're making videos, and yes, validate, we're making it for you and for you guys. Do you guys want to learn stuff about this game that we may know still?
Right, that's the question. Like, is it...
We definitely need to talk about cooking.
If we're... There's a balance that needs to happen here, right? Because... part of me would love to continue just making videos for the people who come out every week, who love watching our videos, who love playing Wurm and watch our videos. That's actually like what I would prefer, in fact. And if that's the case, then I feel like what we're doing, and then just keep adding sort of what we're doing is the idea. Then there's the other part of me that wants to continue the outreach to new players and to also help new players learn how to play the game. And I think those are two different things. The outreach to get new players to be interested in the game, and then helping players who have already found the game who want to learn more about the game. Now, when we first started making videos, I feel like that was our main focus, those two groups. You know, outreach to new people to discover the game, and then also to teach new players how to play the game. And then because I guess we evolved and the game evolved and everything moved forward, we started turning it into closer to a podcast type video, a video podcast, where we were just chatting about things Wurm related, and it was geared towards people who were veterans of the game, who were long-standing players of the game. And yeah, as I said, like that's my preference would be to continue gearing it towards that. But at the same time, I do acknowledge the need to attract new players to this game and to help grow the community and to help new players learn the game. Are you still there? You're still there, right?
I'm still there.
Okay.
And so your conclusion is a balance of both?
I think that it has to be, yeah. I think that's the conclusion, is that it has to be sort of a balance of everything. So this is why my idea of like, let's start a podcast, like a stream, and just, and then have a segment of that stream that is geared towards tutorial or whatever, or maybe have another segment of the stream, and this doesn't have to be all the time, but we create a segment of one stream where we're talking specifically about why new players should pay attention to this game, why new players should be drawn to this game, and then have other segments where it's tutorials. Yeah,
we could do both. Okay, so there's Warpheus. You had a video where you just talked about the archaeology update, latest archaeology update. Did you do that last week, maybe?
Yeah, last week, yeah.
Which is great. So if we want to do more of that, what would people want us to talk about, let's say, in the next few videos?
See, there's the archaeology.
I want to do cooking.
Okay. I totally want to do cooking.
I still don't understand cooking.
I almost feel like cooking will take a long time to explain, especially since we don't really understand it all that fully.
But you did cooking.
A little bit.
And you can at least explain it to the people that don't know anything about cooking.
Maybe. To somebody who knows nothing, yes, I could probably tell them something.
Well, that's...
yeah.
It's good to know.
Here's the thing, like the archaeology updates, and like, for example, priest update and any other update that's going to happen definitely is going to be part of this show.
I think we're always going to talk about the new stuff.
I would argue, though, that type of segment is geared towards veteran players. Right? People who are up to date about what's going on in the game and who understand all of the systems in place and what the update means within the context of the game currently. I think, that's somewhat different than a tutorial type video, which we would start that segment with the assumption that the people we're talking to have no idea about anything about that element of the game, and we would start from that sort of mindset. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, we would have to we would definitely have to go basically talk to a player talk in a way that a player that's never played this game would be able to understand it.
Buddha doesn't even understand everything. Yeah,
I don't believe that.
You're right. There isn't anybody who knows everything. That's for sure. But I think going into a tutorial segment, you almost have to go in assuming that the viewer knows nothing. Like we'd have to start from the very beginning. Like, if it was a video about blacksmithing or a segment about blacksmithing, we'd have to assume they don't have a whetstone yet. They don't have a pelt. They don't have a forge. They're starting with nothing, and then how do you start blacksmithing from there, from that place? So obviously most people watching the video are going to know some things, not everything. Yeah,
I guess the more important question would be, would I have to bring out any costumes again?
That is an important question.
Because it's been a while, and I could potentially do that, but you never know. It's a lot easier to just be wearing my normal clothes. I'm just saying. now, but I can always bring out something.
Yeah.
And I think so far I've got cooking, I've got papyrus making.
Papyrus making is an interesting one because it just got buffed to a point where people kind of need it.
I'd love to know all about that. I'd love to revisit. I'd love to revisit farming. I'd love to revisit meditation. I'd love to do harvesting and let's say, okay, so we did get fine carpentry. So I'm putting fine carpentry down.
Okay. Like somebody recommended that we do fine carpentry.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Sorry, I'm having a hard time doing this and keeping up with chat, but okay, yeah. That's actually fine carpentry would be something I'd be interested in learning about. Personally.
No, yeah, every single week I come out and I put on my costume and it just happens to look like this. So what are we doing here?
What are we doing here? Okay, so
20 slope, 26 slope,
flat.
but this one is 11
that ended
slope.
up flat. Okay, that ended up flat. Okay, good. Whew. I did my calculation right.
Are we gonna need to? Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good here.
Okay, so this ramp is gonna come down. I'm gonna fill in this hole a little bit more. Oh, I'm bugging out. Okay, whew, there we go. Let's fill in this hole now. Let's see how this goes. I hope I don't fill in anything that I needed to not fill in. Yeah, okay, I think I'm good filling this in too.
So are you saying that there's just no way?
No way to what?
Actually, to fill in that other path?
Which path?
The ramp leading down from the side of...
I mean, I didn't really calculate everything perfectly, but
18 and 30.
Doesn't look good.
30 and 30. Like 62. This will raise a bit, but...
It didn't look good at all. Okay, but we have now a somewhat ending of the path.
That's good. Well, there you go, Suit Man. See, if you wear a sombrero long enough, it's just called a hat after a while. I guess that's what I have to start doing again.
Sort of had a freak out earlier when I realized that this was my last beer in the house.
How did that freak out go? No. Just picture Adam in front of his fridge, just looking in, seeing that last beer.
And now I'm at the very end of it. There it goes. Okay.
Surface mine the area more and put in a bridge. Huh?
We could do that.
It's just like, bridge.
We could do that. I
don't know what response that was, but
I don't know if I want to. And only here's the main reason. This area is not on deed. Right, that's the main reason why I'd probably say that might not be the best idea.
Because you never know. What would happen?
At the same time, sorry, go ahead.
What would happen if no one stepped on the bridge for like 3 years?
If no one stepped on the bridge for 3 years, I'm not sure exactly what the mechanism is. I know that bridges definitely have a low decay. And I'm not sure if it works like how roads work, where if people walk over them, it reduces the damage to them. Not sure. Okay, here's the next thing that we can work on. Because I think this area is done now. Like this ramp, the next step after this ramp is to put dirt down.
Yeah.
But you see how the next tile after the ramp, like this corner here, and then for that matter, everything all the way down the line along that tile border.
This tile border, yeah. What about it?
Yeah. Whoops. Oh no, I'm falling.
We're gonna watch Adam fall. There you go.
Okay. So all of that needs to be mined down. I'm not sure how much it needs to be mined down.
Like the tile that I'm standing on.
Yeah. And that whole tile border, like the whole ridge.
So we want this to all be one tile wide. Okay.
Now it doesn't have to be all the way down, because what my hope is that we get like this natural slope once the dirt gets placed on.
Do you want to place the dirt first?
Well, we have to surface mine it before placing the dirt.
Oh, okay. I mean, like this side. There's no way to make it even unless we surface mine that first, I guess.
Oh, right. Yeah, we need to surface mine this first, I think, before I see.
Are you sure? It would just be one tile wide. How would you get the dirt perfectly on there? Oh, you do that leveling technique.
You'd have to level it. Yeah, you'd have to level it. I could have possibly thought about it more beforehand. But what that would have required was that for us to surface mine the rock to be exactly the right level. Each tile would have to have been the perfect edge for that dropping of the dirt.
What would be the perfect edge? So
that's the problem.
if you got this top level perfect.
Okay. So this tile that I'm standing on would be where I'd have to start, because this is the first flat tile. The next one has a 5 slope down, so that's going to be raised back up to be flat. So 5. And then, let's see here. This is also 5? Yeah, this is 5. So this corner here is 5 below. And then 14. This corner here is 24 another, so that'd be 29 below and up by 13. Ugh, this is just too much.
It's like 19. From this point,
I really don't think it's going to be that hard to do the leveling thing.
All right, so let's start bringing it down this one then.
I think we just bring it down. Yeah, bring down this ridge. It's much easier to do the rough cuts. Just like, let's just make it approximate. And then use it might mean that later it takes a little bit of extra effort to make it exactly right with the dirt. But there's so many systems in place. It's not only the level system, but also the flatten. You can use flatten to get things to be just right.
Is this what road workers are doing when it looks like they're just standing around? Yes, it is what they're doing.
Hey, new rubric. New rubric is Chonk Lord, if you didn't know that already.
Hello, Chonk.
I don't know
does that mean you're back around these parts from, how many years has it been?
Wow, it's been a long time. Do you still have Chonk Lord on your
2013?
Yeah, do you still have Chonk Lord on your friends list?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, check to see how long.
Last seen 1,164 days ago.
Wow.
Current server, chaos.
Yes. See, at least
back into work.
Yeah.
Not yet. That leaves a little more room for convincing.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Remind Chonk right now why he should be playing Wurm right now.
Right.
You start, Adam. Why should Chonk be playing Wurm right now?
Wurm gives you chest hairs.
That's that's why you should be playing, because Wurm gives you chest hairs, and we know how vitally important that is when it comes to the worm logic. Because each chest hair is secretly, I don't know, a skill affinity.
But truly, there have been so many changes to Wurm since the last time you played. I mean, it's still the same game, but it almost feels like a completely different game. Like just look at how those shadows are now, and how the light reflects off the ground. Like, it looks so different.
But that's not why anyone played the game back in 2013.
Sure.
What came into the game since then that would excite Chunk the most?
What has come in the most? Man. Well, there's all the new building.
How about this?
Material, like the building.
Man caves.
Man caves, that's it.
You're going to play
caves.
because you can do actual, real man caves now.
That is totally true. Chonk, this is the reason why you should come back. Because you can build your own man cave.
You can build everything that you can out in the real world. Inside
except for roofs. You can't build roofs underneath in mines now.
That's okay. You don't have to mention the things that we can't do. You can have a man castle. You can have bridges going from each building.
Yeah.
Inside of your man cave.
Inside of a cave, you can build multi-story buildings and bridges that connect to other buildings or other caves that are like high up. It's definitely opened up the whole building underground thing. Like, it's just insane what you can do underground now.
You could live in there forever. Yeah. What else can you do? You could go through our labyrinth.
Yep.
Doesn't seem as exciting anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention. And I'm sorry. Somebody sent me this little doohickey. Let's see, man.
Okay.
Small autumn twilight. The small copper autumn twilight token. Look how tiny it is.
Oh yeah, you were telling me that somebody sent you that.
And the person that sent it to me, let me just double check here. I'm going to butcher this name. Caradwin. Or
okay.
Yeah, Caradwin. I'm going to go with that. Thank you so much for sending it to me. That is so cool.
Yeah.
It saves me
the trip back.
Yeah.
Although, I do kind of want to go back.
I know you will.
Definitely gonna go back. Gotta make sure that we get our archaeology skill up a bunch before we go back. But once it's up a bunch, I definitely want to revisit and get all the cool new stuff going on there.
Yeah, it's so cool. I'm gonna place it on one of my. I don't know, I'll place it in a nice place in my building, which leads me to the next point. So we did talk about what are we gonna do on this deed, and what do you think of this idea? So you mentioned that we might just use my building, my giant building, underground building, to live out of, essentially. Just be there, make each floor like all of our crafting stations.
Right, like our main base of operations.
Yeah. And we know we're not great at decorating. And there's another thing that, Chonk, you'll definitely want to know, is that you can actually... there's so many more decorations that you can create. So many more items that you can put into a house. And they actually have a real placement system now. So I don't know if you're still watching, but you can right-click an item. Oh, I'm going to fall here. Say place, and then put it wherever you want. You can even hold control and it'll place it on a tiny grid like this, or you can hold alt and there'll be a slightly bigger grid. You can move the mouse wheel and that turns the item, and then you can place it down and it goes there. To top that off, you can place items on top of items. Certain items. I don't know.
That's the key. Yeah, placing items on top of other items.
There it is. My little nice token on top of this statue.
Yep.
So, all of a sudden, decoration has become so much more interesting, I should say.
Absolutely.
And and we're still not good at it. But so we
weren't good at it before they added all that stuff. And now it's just like we are really bad.
So we have these big houses, this big house, and we're going to want to decorate it somehow or turn it into our stations that we want to create. So because we're not very good, this is what I think we should do. I will pick one of the levels. You pick one of the levels.
Okay.
And then we each individually will create that space. Whatever we need. We'll just create the items, and we'll place everything. We'll make it look really nice. And then, after we're done, we'll get all of you guys to vote for which one you like better. My awesome, decorated crafting areas for my wood cutting, and or Adam's dismal mine, I don't know, forge area where he just makes it all dirty from all of his soot and stuff. I don't know. You can decide when we're done. That's what I'm saying. And you can, I don't know how we would do that sort of vote, but maybe that's something that we can do. We can create off camera or on our any streams that we do individually. And you can just, we should go there and we should pick a floor that we each like. And then we'll turn that floor into something wonderful. And that'll allow us to, make the areas, more livable quicker. And then maybe the winner can get some kind of prize.
Winner will be me or you?
Yeah. And that prize would be something that we would make up ourselves. But
speaking of prizes,
yes,
we did hit a milestone just last week where we reached our goal of new Patreon or new patrons. I'm really bad at patrons. So we have a Patreon that you can visit. I've been posting there and making some random videos specifically for that.
Patreon.com/factionalfight. Is that what it is?
Yeah, patreon.com/factionalfight. You can click on, I made a link at the bottom of our Twitch page there. If you just scroll down a little bit, you can find it there. And this is a way for you, our viewers, to help support our show. I mean, there's different ways that you can help support our show. One is to sub to our Twitch channel, or to cheer into the chat with some bits. Or you could become a Patreon of ours, or patron of ours at Patreon. And it's sort of like the same as subscribing in that you would be pledging a certain amount of money per month, but it's any amount that you like. And for that, you'll get a bunch of messages from myself or from Brian here. And I'm also making some random videos that I post there that are only for patrons of ours. And so we reached our goal of 15 patrons last week.
Ooh.
In fact, we got 16 patrons. So to celebrate, we are going to be giving away a cool, neat prize to the channel today. Now, really, it's only to anybody in the channel. And I tried to make it so that regular viewers and subscribers to our channel will have a better chance. And my hope is that the patrons in our channel here are regular viewers, because I couldn't find a way, for some reason, to make it so that patrons get a better chance.
Thank you, Reganation, for that tier 1 sub.
Reganation, hey, how's it going? For 2 months in a row. Thanks very much for that sub. We're getting to that point where we're getting that message for 2 months in a row. Because I guess that's how long we've been back for working on Twitch.
Yeah, that's kind of
so
cool.
Yeah, today
so
we are going to be giving away. We're going to be giving away a rare, strange bone to one lucky viewer.
And what do these rare, strange bones do?
So pretty much they allow you to change any item that you can hold into your inventory to a rare item.
Any item that you can hold in your inventory. Any item.
Right. Yep.
Wow.
So things I think that it won't work on are like things like boats or wagons, or pretty much anything that you can't put into your inventory. But if you can put it into your inventory, then you should be able to make it rare. Correct me if I'm wrong, though.
How about stuff that you can't that's unique, or that you can't drop?
Like give me an example of an item like that. That you can't drop. Is there such an item in this game where you can't drop it?
There is, like the or something that you buy from a merchant.
What do you mean? Something that you mean
like
from a trader?
Small magic chest.
Like a small magic chest. I don't know. I would assume though that you could make a small magic chest rare, because I think you can put a small magic chest into your inventory. I'm not sure.
How about hand mirrors? So I've got 7 hand mirrors in my inventory.
Can you make a hand mirror rare? I don't know about that, actually, to be honest.
Would you want to make a hand mirror rare?
I don't think so.
Does it give you twice as many changes or more options than normal? How about a rare compass? Would that do anything?
I have a feeling that rare compasses do something, but it'd probably be quite minor. Because as it is, if you have, let's say, a 60 quality compass with like even a little bit of WOA, it pretty much settles on near instantly. Although maybe it makes it stay settled longer. I don't know. Could be wrong, but possible.
How about, I don't know, would anybody want a rare spyglass?
I guess only if it does something.
Would it do something? How about a rare consumable item like a yellow potion?
Right. I'm sure that a rare bone will make a potion, a yellow potion rare.
I feel like there's a lot of items you wouldn't want to use this bone on.
No, yeah, there's probably a lot, yeah.
Could we
How about we
turn-
talk about what you might want to turn rare?
Yes, and the most important thing you would want to make rare is the Puzzle King's crystal ball. It's unique. It's the only thing that you can get it once on your character, and then you can make it. Can you make it rare? So if you could make it rare, and then you can position it somewhere really cool in your house, and it could be glowing, huh?
You know, here's what I would make rare. I would make something that had my signature on it that was special to me, that I used often. That's what I think. Now, like, rare bones are quite expensive, particularly for that reason, that you're able to put whatever you want and put it on whatever you want and make that thing rare. So to have that freedom to choose is what makes the rare bone so valuable. There are some things, if value is what you're interested in, like making something, rare to increase its value. The problem is that rare bones cost a lot of money. Like they're pretty valuable, and there's nothing really that you can put it on that's going to make that value come back. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think rare bones, I mean, they used to be over 20 silver. I got this one at a decent price. But let's say 20 silver was a rare bones cost. There's not really many items in the game that you can put it on that will increase its value by 20 silver.
Well, could you make, and there's a good question, could you make a rare bone rare?
I don't think you can make a rare item.
Would it just consume one of the rare bone, and then you would just be left with a regular rare bone? Like, you would just get rid of one.
Yeah, like, rare anything. Like, what if you put a rare bone on a
rare pickaxe?
Would it just waste the rare bone?
Or would it be doubly as rare as it was before?
Doubly rare. I don't think anybody would have
as a double rare.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would have wasted, because there might be a chance that you waste your rare bone. So I can't imagine anybody's even tried it.
That's true. What would happen if you did that? Do you think the dev team would give you it back?
No, absolutely would not.
Like, I accidentally just chose the thing that was next to the one that I really wanted to make rare. And it just happened to be rare, and it just consumed it.
Misclick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that the dev team is going to help you there.
You don't think that it would just up it to next?
Do two rares make a supreme? I don't think so.
I don't think it works that way. You would probably need a supreme bone, if that's the thing.
Yes, there is a supreme bone.
A rare black wolf rug or bear rug. Would you want something like that? That would be cool.
Yeah, like, if you win this rare bone, you can make whatever you want rare, and you wouldn't even have to worry about the value or the cost, because you'd be getting it for free.
That is true. So how are we going to do this?
So, I guess we're going to use Nightbot again. Nightbot seems to be working out pretty good at giving some random player, viewer, the chance to win. You want to do this now?
Let's do it now.
Do it now. Okay. Here we go. So, I have made it so that regular viewers of the show have a slight advantage over, let's say, a first-time viewer. Just to make it, fair to those people who have been tuning into our show every week and, supporting our show. I've also made it so subscribers have a slight increased chance at winning as well. So just to let everybody know, going into this, it is not a fair roll. But everybody has a chance, nonetheless. So let's see. I'm going to pick up the rare bone. I'm going to stand next to this mailbox. And we're going to do another keyword here. So let me enter in the keyword. Let's make it... Wow, what should we make what should we make it? The keyword.
Can it be anything we want, even something really long?
Yeah, anything we want. Although we might want to make sure that it's something that people can easily type in to the chat.
Oh.
I hope Wajik wasn't used for this. I'm just going by Nightbot.
Now let's make it Wajik was used for this. No,
How about
it's too
just
long.
Wajik?
Wajik. There you go. There's the keyword.
There we go. Okay, so...
Did you get it into whatever program that you're doing?
Yep. Let's see here. Okay, so let's try this out. To enter into this role to win a rare, strange bone, type Wajik into the chat now. We'll see how... Let's just make sure that everybody's getting in here now. Now, obviously, you shouldn't be typing in Wajik if you don't play Wurm Online, because the only way to is to have have a character on Wurm Online.
And thank you for the follow. Oof, nice. I think that's what it said.
Okay, people are typing in Wajik, but it's not
Hoof,
actually
nice,
working
right.
this time. Okay, so hey, Hoof nice. Thanks for the subscribe.
It was a follow.
Oh, it was a follow. Thanks for
Thank
the follow.
you.
Okay, for some reason that didn't work, so I'm gonna have to figure out something here.
It didn't like the word? Is that what?
I don't know. I typed in Wajik and it's I'm just gonna... I mean, we've done this now twice or 3 times now. And so far everything has been worked. Maybe I'm just gonna make sure that I see.
Yeah.
I gotta try this again. Because I'm logged into the wrong Twitch channel.
There
The
you
wrong
go.
Nightbot. I'm logged into the wrong Nightbot.
You have more than one Nightbot. What's going? Oh God!
I didn't mean to have more than one night. Double check.
Go.
Okay, now I am logged into the right Nightbot, and I now have to reset everything here. Okay, so
There we go.
it's okay, and then Wajik. Okay, we gotta try this again. Start for like
One more
back up a
time, everyone.
few. Imagine none of the last few minutes actually happened. To enter into this rare, strange bone giveaway, type Wajik into the chat right now. Everybody has to re-type in Wajik one more time, and let's hope that this is working. There we go. Hey, as Smurfy, Reganation got there, Suitman, Validate. Yes, so this is working now. We got, oh boy, we've got lots of people now. Darklighter, Deathwind, Jaljif, Reganation, Timotheus, Morpheus, Smurfy's there, Suitman's there, Timotheus is there. Okay, and we'll give people a little bit more chance. So type in the keyword logic into the, sorry, not logic, Wajik into the chat to be eligible to win this strange bone. Yeah, what were you going to say?
I think before that we actually do this draw, I just wanted to say thank you for everyone for watching us. And it's really the only reason that we can do stuff like this, where we could get this rare strange bone and do this giveaway. I definitely want to do more in the future. And good luck to everybody that has Wajiked it out in our chat.
All right. So are we good here? Let's see. We got a good number of people who typed in Wojcik, and we are going to see who the winner is. This is your very last chance to enter in this draw to win a rare strange bone.
Here we
Guess
go.
Murphy has done a PC for it. Here we go. And it seems as though Warpheus. Wait, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Warpheus has won the giveaway. Congratulations,
Orpheus. Hopefully, some
a strange bone.
Nice rare gets introduced to the game sometime.
Okay, Warpheus, this is what's going to happen. I am going to send you a PM, a whisper on Twitch, and in that whisper, you're going to tell me the name of the character that you would like me to send this rare strange bone to. So how's that surface mining going on over there?
I think it's going well. Not as fast as what you would be doing, but there's something about the light during this time of day. How do I do the time? There it is.
Is it slash time?
So it's like, yeah, slash time. 1900, which is what, 7 o'clock? It's the evening.
Yeah.
And then just the light reflecting off of the stone.
Yeah, I know. There's certain times of the day where
it looks great.
Where the bump mats are much more apparent. So Warpheus, you're gonna have to send me a response to that PM so I can send this bone off to you. You got to tell me
where's that mountain?
What character name is it? Which mountain?
Deathwind Seizes Mountain.
Oh,
am I looking at it now?
Up and to the left. Just up and to the left a little.
This one? Or this one? Or this one? Or any of these ones?
I guess it's that one.
This one?
Yeah, to the right. No. He's not that far
this
away.
One. Wait, this one?
Deathwind, did you move over to the other side of the water there?
I'm going to leave this
the
right
one,
here. This one here. What do you see when you look down from that height?
There you go, Warpheus. The rare bone is in the mail. It's on its way. You see us.
You see us down here, surface mining. It must be a fun view. This is not it. I just noticed this on the side of the mountain.
Yeah, like that path up there?
Yeah.
Yeah. That path has been worked on. Like when we first moved to here, there was like the start of that path. And it looks like it's been well developed.
That's pretty cool.
I wonder, we should one day take a trip up there. See what's going on.
Yeah.
You remember
what's going on here?
That episode we did a long time ago where we took a stroll around this area, looking at all the deeds. I think we should do one of those again.
I definitely would like to do that. And you're welcome, Orpheus. Servers are down. Wow. That takes me back. It only didn't cost so much to keep a server like that around.
Yeah.
Or a domain.
The problem was that we would take long breaks, and then we weren't sure whether we should keep it up or not, and we were paying money for it. The way we figured it, I think, was that all of our content was on YouTube and arranged in playlists and everything there. The servers are down was just sort of like a redundant. But it was nice to have our own like little website.
You know what I did start reading was let's see if I can find it again. Maybe I can't. Was your blog about our journey.
Right.
It's
found
still
it
there. And why can't I find it now?
How did you find it? Because, I tried to do sort of like I logged out of my Google and just tried to search for it. I couldn't find it unless I was, because it's in my history, I guess.
I really can't find it right now. But I did find it before, and I started reading it. And, I wonder if we could find that again. Where did I find that?
We should link it. There was a point where they sent me an email asking me if I wanted to keep it, because it's been a long time. And I said, yeah. And so it should still be there.
And you know what else I found? I found like old pictures, screenshots and stuff. As well as a few rejected sound bites of emotes that of me like saying the emotes when I was creating them.
Okay. Yeah.
I also found just all of the things, like the little sounds that I added to the game that I forgot about. So apparently,
right,
yeah, go ahead.
Because after I was watching your last episode, like the one that you did on your own,
Yeah.
I basically, I think I asked you if you had any of the old sounds, right?
Yeah, I didn't remember having any of them.
Because you were giving this idea when you were streaming about what if we had the option of choosing the type of emotes that we had.
That's what I wanted.
The emotes, that would have all the same, like they would all be saying the same thing. Like like they would all say hello, how are you? But you would get to choose, like, do you want a gruff voice, or do you want the happy, cheerful voice, or do you want the, meek and shy voice? Just to have a whole bunch of variety. So I asked you, like, did you save any of them? I guess you found them.
I found some. Yeah. I don't know. I realized that I put in different sounds into the game. So I put in the dragon sound. So when you hit a dragon or kill a dragon, that's the sound that I added to the game. Based off of a clip that I was given by Rolf. So Rolf gave me like a package of like a CD.
Right.
And I remember thinking at the time, you probably won't hear this, like, you wouldn't really be hearing this dragon sound because all the dragons are dead.
Okay.
But I'll add it anyway. Like it's there. It's already cool. I snipped it down to a specific amount. And now they brought back dragons, and everybody's listening to everybody that plays dragons. If you watched the video, like that's the sound that I added. I also added things like the pig sound.
Okay.
The bison, I believe. The horse, which I said before. The the Lava Fiend.
Mm.
I did that one. Of course, I did the Goblin, which I talked about in the video. And I think I did the Rooster or something like that. And I can't remember if there's any more that I did. I did the Cave Bug, which ended up realizing later that the Cave Bug was also the sound of another creature.
Was it the Lava Fiend? It almost feels like it's the similar.
No, the Lava Fiend has
Okay.
some other sound. I can't remember for some reason now. It was like, it wasn't the spider, it was like something like that. It was just like all of a sudden, because I changed the Cave Bug, the other animal had the same sound, so it changed as well.
I see. But yeah, it would be nice to have an option.
I have them somewhere.
Our emotes.
Yeah.
So you were saying like you recorded like lots of different ways of saying hello, how are you?
Yes, yeah. But in that sense, that I was almost thinking, like when I was saying there should be different ways that you should say that, or you should have different profiles that you can choose for your voice, I was thinking more like a completely different voice.
Right. Hello, how are you?
Yeah. Or just like greetings, from like just different variations of saying the same, greeting or hello, and with a completely different person like saying it, like, and you can choose which voice that you'd like.
Right. I would love that.
There you go. It's the scorpion that does sound the same as the Cave Bug.
That makes sense.
So yeah. So before it had some other sound.
So I wonder how much effort it would take to get that system in place.
Well, I don't know. I can't see it taking that long. Although I have no idea. The real challenge is, once it's in place, where do they get the sounds?
Right. Well, I'm sure these days you can get computer-generated voices that sound pretty good.
You'd have to just buy sound things or create them yourself.
I mean, one could imagine that you'd be able to create artificial voices. I'm not sure if that's something that you'd have to pay to get some system in place for that, or whether there'd be systems already created, or that they can create their own.
Something that sounds good enough? I don't know.
Something that sounds good enough. It doesn't have to be recorded voices of real people.
Or it could be recorded voices of real people from Wurm streams. There you go. Buddha's got the greatest ideas. But I don't know where that would come from. But, like, so many things have to go right in order for a system like that to work. Right? They can do all that work and code all this system so they can have multiple profiles, and then only to never get another, 20 different sounds of people saying the same sort of thing.
Yeah, I suppose. It'd be great for role-playing, though.
Yeah. It definitely would. So anyway, I had pictures, and see, now I can't remember where I had them. But I did have them, and I did find them somewhere in my giant list of just stuff. Wow, I got a lot of files. And at one point I'll probably find them again. But who knows where they could be. I think they're in some kind of backup drive.
You did lose a lot of files.
There was a time where one of my hard drives crashed and all the stuff on it was lost forever.
Right.
Where could it be?
I am so grateful for the change to surface mining. It's going to make this so much easier than it used to be. You know, I don't think I ever showed you the surface mining job that our alliance did. I might have told you about it once, but it's something that we should probably visit when we do running a alliance.
Mm-hmm.
But someone decided that they would like to have a river or a connection from their place all the way to the water. But their place was like far inland. So the solution was to dig down this big, it must have been like 8 or 9 tiles wide. Just dig it right down to the rock. This big valley that was maybe 100 tiles long and 8 or 9 tiles wide. And then they just got to the rock, and then they took that rock and surface mined it all the way down to the water.
Wow.
And I helped on it a little bit. And it was insane. Like, it's insane. Luckily, it was after the surface mining changes, so it was easier to surface mine, but it nonetheless was still an insane amount of surface mining. So I'll have to go visit that.
That's crazy. So Buddha's saying, I tried to get the surface mining changed in for like 6 years. So the question really is, did it take 6 years to figure out how to get this change in? How to like code it? Or did it take 6 years to convince the right peoples to accept the change?
That is a very good question.
Here. So this picture, I don't know if you remember this picture.
Are you able to show it on the stream?
Yeah, I'm trying to bring it up.
All right.
Can't do it successfully. Yo, ultimate savior. So here's
Imagine
a guy.
a world, then create it.
I would not create this poster the same way again if I had to. And hello, ultimate savior. Here's a guy who does not play Wurm. Took 6 years for me to take over and slip it in one of the updates without Rolf seeing it. Oh, that's funny. Does Rolf still get some sort of say in what goes into the game? So how would you convince a person like Ultimate Savior, who, let's say, doesn't play Wurm?
I know. Show him a 3-hour video of somebody surface mining.
That's going to convince you. 3 hours of surface mining a mountain. Anyway, so this is something I created. I wish I had a timestamp on this. Let's see what this timestamp says. August 2013.
Wow.
So, yeah, and I found, like, these pictures.
So what
picture
did you
was
create that for?
I can't even remember. To tell you the truth, yeah, I don't even remember. Do you remember this at all?
That looks
What
like
building
Deep
was
Planner.
that?
Oh, I know what that is. That was the building on Summer Flame.
We built a building on Summer Flame?
That was the priest house.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like if yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah. The problem is that the land wasn't. There was
Do you recognize
was, like-
this? Oops.
let's see.
This is also Deed Planner, but it looks exactly like it was in real life in the real game.
That's Nightshade's house.
That is Nightshade's place, and hopefully you didn't just read this file that says Knight's place.
Oh no, I didn't. I recognize that.
That was
place.
Nightshade's place in our deed, yeah.
Yeah.
It was recreated in Deed Planner.
Was it recreated in Deed Planner, or did you like?
I recreated it because you could never load it in Deed Planner at that time.
So how did you recreate it?
I just did it. Yeah.
Wall by wall.
Wall by wall.
Was that because you were wanting to? Huh. Why did you recreate that?
I don't remember.
Okay.
The truth. I think I was trying to show off just how realistic that it looked, because Deed Planner never looked like that before. During the 2013-ish time.
Look at that. That was our castle wall. Back before they had the wood trim on every
This is a puzzle shot.
What?
This is a shot from Puzzles.
No, I saw.
Is that not Puzzles?
It was. Okay, that is from Puzzles.
Yeah.
Oh, that is from Puzzles. I was thinking about the big castle walls. I'm watching it on a sort of a delay.
Yeah, that's true. This was us showcasing how the fishing pole would be equipped backwards.
Yep.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
And I guess the fishing poles don't even look like that anymore.
Nope.
Or the rowboat. Anyway, that was a little pond at Puzzles, so I found that picture. Ultimate Savior finally ordered a new phone. That's great. Which phone did you end up with? Oh, I also found some other pictures. I don't know if anybody remembers this. The Google Pixel 3. That's going to be a nice phone.
Are they already on the third iteration of that phone?
Yep. Yeah. It's just going to come out.
Wow. Huh.
There was a Wurm
I
online art roundup.
I recognize the picture on the right. That is the person's name Moretta? I can't remember actually. I might be getting that totally wrong. But it was somebody who was making a crazy was it a highway or something like that? And it was like around on Independence. Required like an insane amount of surface mining along the edge of Dragonfang Mountain.
Mm.
And so somebody drew a picture of that person to represent the insane amount of work that they did.
Anyway, those are some files that I found. But I don't really know where everything is. And I didn't find much else.
Good luck with your midterm. That's fun.
See you later, Ultimate Savior. Like, I found the picture that I used of you digging.
You mean mining?
That's a funny picture. Anyway.
See, it's these ones that we should make our emote. What do you think?
Something like this?
Something like that for an emote?
Do people want to see our faces like that? Like, all.
That's what I was thinking. Like that one, and then you have one too.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, I think we should use those as our email.
But for some reason, I can't find the clips. Let me think. I don't think I'm gonna find them, unfortunately.
Because we definitely need emotes for our stream, for our Twitch channel. But I'm finding I'm just don't have enough time to like invest in trying to figure out how to do it or what to do, and we have all these little bits and pieces here and there. We should just use them.
All right. I mean, stuff that I remember doing. So, like, Wurm isn't the first game that I created content. Not created content. Created, like fan stuff for. Like, I used to create Vanguard. I had, like, a Vanguard website.
You got a whole website, yeah.
And I found, like, all this stuff that I used to do. For example, I created this map of one of the Vanguard dungeons called the Valerium Mines. Vanguard doesn't even exist anymore. And in that game, you had the ability to let's say start a mapping. So like from where you're standing. So you'd be like begin, cartography or whatever. And then you just walk along the path and it would keep a record of like where you walked. So you'd walk along the edge of the like the left side of the mine or the wall, and you just go around the whole thing. And then at the end you would have like a map, like a line,
so it would trace out your path.
Yeah, and then you would and then I would import that into Photoshop or something and then create this.
Okay.
Was the source code ever released? The source code was never released for Vanguard. There is a private server somewhere, but from what I could tell the last time that I played, that I tried that out, only the Isle of the Dawn, like the tutorial island, was completed, and everything else was kind of not really done.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame when games like this just die out.
It's true, but
I heard another game recently closed. Was it WildStar?
that I don't know.
Or a game like that?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. And yet, Wurm lives on.
Hopefully forever, right? Because what would
Yes.
happen if it ever went down?
Yeah.
What would we all be doing right now?
What would we do?
This is really gonna bug me. Where did I put those files? I'll never know.
So did you check into any of the big changes with the archaeology?
Thanks, Chonk, for that subscribe. And what was that? Archaeology?
Yeah, thanks, Chunk. Yeah, for archaeology, have you looked into the big changes
Tell
that
me
have
about it.
happened?
I heard that there was like something like I have this token which was part of the change. Uh, Tell me a little bit about what they've added.
So they made it so that you're able to. It's almost like a big treasure hunt now. There's all the system that was
Interesting.
in there before is still there, so you can go and
Mm.
use your trowel on the ground and pick up archaeology fragments and stuff. But in addition to that, you're so yeah you were able to fill in reports by doing that. You would go, and if you were investigating on somebody's old deed, it would fill in a report if you had a journal. Now those reports, when filled in enough, will give you the direction to the center of the deed. So you can like right click it and get direction, and it'll point you into the direction of the center of the deed. And if you go to the center of the deed with the filled in report and investigate there, you will uncover a cache. They're calling it a cache, which
Ooh.
is essentially, in other words, a treasure box. It like looks like a treasure box, like a treasure chest that opens up, and inside the treasure chest is a whole bunch of extra fragments, which apparently are like higher end fragments, and that little token, the little relic that you get from that deed that looks exactly like the token. So that adds another element of purpose to archaeology.
That makes me complete. What level do you have to be to start that?
I don't know exactly. You need to be high enough to be able to fill in the report enough to have the get direction option. Now, whether that level, like, I'm not sure exactly what the level is. I just know that when we got to around 50 in archaeology, that's when we started getting the second line of the archaeology report. And I think that's about, so that if I had to guess, it would be around 50. It would be around the time that you could probably get enough information. If they didn't change anything about how archaeology levels up, to get from 1 to 50 is actually really fast. At least I found it was really fast. It only took a couple days, maybe a few days.
35 plus should be high enough to get the full direction.
Okay, 35. Okay, that's really good. So 35 isn't that hard at all to get.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to do.
Yeah.
That makes it very, like, a lot more interesting. I also read that there's some more items that you can get, some statuettes, some, I don't know, more statues.
Yeah, they added these like little, they almost like remind me of those army like the little green guys.
Yeah.
Except for they're worm people, all dressed in steel plate, and they are in some kind of action with either a pickaxe or.
That's so cool.
Yeah, you can arrange them. I can only imagine what people.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to do some more archaeology.
Yeah, for sure. Now, one thing I've noticed recently, due to this change, is mask fragments seem to be far more, what's the word? Available, frequent. People are selling off their mask fragments. And, I would have assumed that these mask fragments would be super valuable. But they're selling these things for really inexpensive. Like somebody was selling them for 25 copper per fragment.
Well, Darklighter got 3 caches so far just today. How much is in each cache? If we say, you get more. How much is more?
Yeah, I think the amount that's in the cache and the type of fragments in the cache is dependent on your archaeology skill. And it's also dependent on all the other things about the deed, like how old the deed was and how long it was for and how many deeds were on that. I don't know. I guess it's not how many deeds, but yeah, all of the information about the deed plays a role in what you get. Level 50 to get mask armor fragments, so easy to get. Yeah, like I'm feeling like it almost seems like you can now buy a mask for like a few silver. Somebody had they were posting their fragments, and they had like about 20 or 30 fragments of each mask type. And you only need 10 fragments to make a mask. So, and they were selling them for 25 copper each, so for 2 silver, 50 copper, you could buy pretty much any mask that you want that they had there, and they had about 4 or 5 different type of masks. I mean, personally,
how many different kind of masks are there? Does anybody figure that out?
At least 4. There's at least 4. Let me see if I can find that post there.
Alright, I did find some sounds.
Okay,
but
you're still searching for those.
It wasn't the folder that I found before, so it doesn't seem to have everything. But in saying that, it does have all of the animal sounds that I put into the game. Or mob sounds. So, can you identify this sound?
Okay.
If I open it, it's going to go onto the screen and then everyone's going to see what it is.
So here's the problem. I'm not going to probably hear it unless I unmute the video.
Well, that's true.
Hold on, I unmuted it.
So can anybody...
What is that? That's something dying.
Yes.
That's a goblin dying.
That's not correct.
No? What is it? It's I'm falling? Okay. Let me see if I can guess. Is it a... What's that thing called? A lava fiend dying.
That is not correct.
No? Orpheus guessed a croc?
That is not correct.
Yeah, it didn't sound like a croc. It doesn't sound like a troll.
Can anybody guess what that was? It is not a wraith, but that was a good guess.
A wraith? There's such thing as a wraith in this game?
There it is. It's a zombie.
Zombie.
Two people guessed it at the same time.
It's a zombie.
Is a zombie.
Here's the thing. I've seen zombies, but only when GM spawn them.
Me too.
Like, are there... And wraiths. I've never seen a wraith other than
is
when
there a
you put
priest
yourself
spell
in with it.
that can, like, raise the dead or something and make zombies? Because that would be really cool.
Maybe it's a Libelus spell, and that's why we haven't seen it.
Anyway, and the zombie... Hitting a zombie sounds like this. Apparently I also did the cow sound. I don't remember doing that one. Is that what the cow sounds like? When you hit it?
Like that.
Yeah. Apparently I did that one as well.
Yeah, I can't hear these because I don't hear the stream. And I can't hear your computer.
That's okay. Yeah, I mean, I see the dragon. So people that don't have the ability to hear what a dragon sounds like to die, this is what it sounds like.
have to unmute it now because I want to hear that, because I'm never ever gonna hear a. Wow, that's like a really long dragon death sound.
Yeah. When I remember it as being longer than that.
Okay.
I listen, I'm like, that seems short. I kind of remember thinking, oh, it's really long when I think I cut it down. Like, it was really, really long, and I made it shorter.
Well, there's probably a really long animation as well.
Yeah, I wish I could have seen the animation, but when I created that, I'm pretty sure that the dragons had the old look.
Okay.
So I don't think there was really much of an animation. A black tome gives you the ability to summon a wraith with a staff.
Darklater asked a question. When do we start getting other info on the report? And
I'm guessing it's something like 85 plus to get all the info.
Yeah, you knew that all along.
Yeah, I'm just guessing. So yeah, Lava Fiend actually sounds like this when it dies. Kind of grating. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I listed all of them that I can see here that I did. I did K-Bug, Cow, Croc, Dragon, Goblin, Hen, Horse, Lava Fiend, Pig, Zombie. I thought I also did the Bison. I don't see it here. I'm pretty sure I did. Which means that this list, it doesn't seem that complete. I wonder where I put the rest of
What I'm mostly interested in is, what did all the other emotes sound?
That I don't know. I haven't been able to find it. It wasn't that many. I feel like I did a lot, but I don't have all of them. I have like a very select few for some reason. And then even those ones, I don't remember where they are.
But I did find it funny that people wanted to they chose the one that it sounded most like the original one.
I was surprised. I didn't even like that one.
Yeah, I remember during that time you were showing people all the different types of emotes that you made and asking people what their favorite one was.
There I go.
What?
I fell.
Oh. I know. Stand on the edge and surface mine enough. If you surface mine enough, yeah, fall right down.
All right. Well, there's just no way I'm getting back up there.
You can climb. Did you fall into a pit, or did you fall into the?
I'm down at the bottom now.
Well, that's not all the way at the bottom. You could fall further.
I guess that's true.
I see you now.
So what are you up to?
I don't know. I'm just ran
your way over there.
Sort of moved along the ridge and continued.
I see.
I mean, I do want to keep some semblance of this big hill.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Let's see what's up here.
A nice drop, nice looking slope.
Yeah, and then this path is gonna slope down. It's actually working out pretty good. This surface mining.
It's going a heck of a lot faster than I'm used to.
For sure. Like once the dirt all gets put in here. But yeah, like I think that the strategy of working from the top and moving down towards the bottom is the best. It does, you know, I can see why some people don't go through the efforts to do this, but I really think that this is what's going to make this area look really nice. It takes a lot of effort, and it's not even on deed, but yeah, working your way from the top, surface, digging it all down from top to bottom, and then going back to the top and surface mining it all down from top to bottom, and then once that's all done, putting all the dirt back and reshaping the land. I think it's just going to pay off so much.
It's got to look good at the end.
Yeah.
And that's why we play.
Yeah, for sure. And that way the back end of the deed is going to be flat, and it's going to not have this steep dirt wall along the back. It's going to look nice and gradual or natural. No space here to mine.
So here's something that apparently I created. Oop.
Still looking through those files?
I don't know what I'm going to find here, actually. Something in Photoshop.
That reminds me.
Do you remember what this was part of?
Yeah. What was that though? Technical difficulties. There was one episode where we had a problem, and you had to piece together two pieces of the video. And you made that as a transition.
Oh, I don't remember.
I think it was. See, that should be an emote right there.
That whole thing? No.
No. Just the clip of us.
How big can these emotes be?
I don't know. How big can emotes be? They'll be little things, but...
That's apparently all I can find.
So yeah, I was watching Casper today, and she was playing Clash Royale.
Okay. I'm guessing she likes that game.
Yeah. She actually joined my clan.
Really?
Yeah. She with an alt character.
How many characters can you have in that game?
So now you can pretty much have as many as you like, and they made it really easy to make new alt accounts.
Oh,
although it's quickly realized that it kind of doesn't make sense to have so many, because they take a long time to level up. But anyway, it made me think, streaming other games might be something I might be interested in doing every so often if I get the chance. I love streaming Wurm, don't get me wrong, but I do play other games.
Mm.
You're
just thinking of streaming Clash Royale.
Well, Clash Royale is one of them, because it's a game that I play. Overwatch is another. I'm not sure, if it'll be anything like these games. It'll be more like mostly just watching me play, and I might be chatting a little bit. But in Wurm you can chat a lot and not really focus too much on the game, just because it's so chill.
Mm-hmm.
But in a game like Clash Royale or Overwatch, you have to be focused on the game really intently. So, looking at chat or those sorts of things would only occur in between games.
So how was the stream?
It was good. I liked it. I like watching, especially games that I play. And then one thing that I think that it could potentially do is attract other people to the channel. People that would let's say, search up Overwatch, right? And then they'll find our channel.
Whoa. Well, yeah, for sure. I'd say that that's something good that you could do, especially if you have some free time. And
I
you
was
could stream
wondering,
something.
like, what you guys would think, like those of you guys in our audience or in our chat right now. Would you be interested in that at all, or is it, something
Worm
that
all the
would be
way.
or is it worm all the way? Yeah, I don't know. Because if there is interest, then I might start doing it. If there's no interest whatsoever, then whatever, I can play on my own and not stream it. That's fine with me too. One thing that, like, I play Overwatch a lot with our cousins. Be curious to know if they'd be interested in chatting with me on a stream while playing.
There just can't be enough worm.
Can't be enough worm, that's for sure.
Today we're surface mining. Tomorrow
we're surface mining again.
We're surface mining again. But then next month we'll be doing something else like farming.
Right.
I'm hoping this is almost done. So, like, what have we done? We've managed to surface mine quite a bit.
Yep.
To the point where we're getting very close for it to be ready to put the dirt down and to get this this whole...
I don't know if we should go as far as saying that we're really close.
We're getting close. We're considering how much we've actually surface mined just today.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's actually...
I'm not used to this at all.
Now. Yeah, it goes quite fast.
Yeah, and then so to top that off, I can't see this taking quite a long time. To then just put the dirt down won't take that long.
Right, putting the dirt down won't take long.
And then paving
the ramp
it up.
is going to take a while.
The ramp will be okay.
Yeah.
Not like weeks or anything.
No, not weeks. But
paving it up would be not bad either. And then, so we're getting there. We managed to surface mine quite a bit. We didn't have a lot of digging, which I thought we would have more digging, but more terraforming. We didn't really have that.
Right. I did a lot of that over the... Yeah.
We talked about archaeology.
There is one more thing I definitely need to bring up. Our alliance. So somebody in our alliance brought up to me that they want to do an event. And the event would be like the people in our alliance would mostly be participating in the event, but it will be open to the wider community. And she asked if I'd be willing to try to help promote it by mentioning it on our show, and to see if there's any interest in our audience of people who might be interested in coming over and participating. So the event goes something like this. You would find and bring a champion animal of sorts, whatever you like. I'm not even sure if it needs to be champion. After all, it could be any animal for that matter, and it would be a contest of champion animal against champion animal. So they set up an arena on a deed, and it's designed specifically to release animals into and have them fight against each other. And I'm guessing, I'm not even sure if... Does the animal need to be tamed for that to work, I guess?
I think so.
Yeah. So you'd have tamed animals, and you fight against each other, and, there would be prizes and sorts of stuff. So would anybody be interested in doing something like this?
Should they contact somebody?
Well, I mean... Right now, I think it's only wondering if people would come out for it. Is this something that would be interesting to people? And I told her that I'd be totally willing to record the event on a show. Yeah, one needs to be tamed. Yeah, so get them. I mean, it would only really work if you had the taming skill needed to tame that kind of animal. And from what I understand, champions are not easily tamed.
Maybe
Sorry,
maybe
go
they
ahead.
need to update the whole animal breeding, animal husbandry system to include the ability, I don't know, to make it easier to tame or easier to have animals that like you. That would help facilitate tournaments like this. And the whole thing about Pokeballs, that would be something that I believe that people would be open to, maybe.
Isn't that what animal cages are?
Giant Pokeballs.
Yeah, giant Pokeballs.
we need sort of animal cages where we can just put them onto our the back of like an animal cart or something. You just bring them over and you just release them by throwing the animal cages into the arena.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
What would you say about systems like that, where they could provide us with, I don't know, we could build an arena, we could provide us with the ability to raise and lower, I don't know, doors ourselves with like a click of a button, or stand in a certain spot,
Okay.
so people can host these sort of things with some kind of...
Now that would only work if like the animals attack each other. But
Yes.
as it is, I don't feel like if you put a bear and a troll into a room together, I don't think they naturally like attack each other, do they?
I don't think so. Catapult the cages in. That would be pretty awesome.
Falling.
There goes Adam. Perfect view to see him fall.
Like, I think it would be a cool event if it wasn't so hard to tame them. That's the only thing I can see going wrong. Like, you're sort of excluding anybody who has low this event.
And to tame them for long periods of time. Yeah, what can you do? But yeah, it sounds like a cool event. We would definitely could be video recording it, streaming it. Video recording it. I'm like in the 80s.
Yeah,
we definitely
let's bring out our VHS recorders.
Yeah. We definitely be like streaming it, and that could be a really fun event. I would definitely go around and try to find a champion animal and probably fail. I'd probably find one, but it'd be one of the ones that's like way out of range from what I can.
Yeah, I remember. I have a memory of trying to tame a champion bear and being very unsuccessful at it. And I don't think that my taming skills gotten any better since then.
A pendulum for finding champs. Yeah, I gotta get one of those, don't I?
Yeah, I think there is
one of those. I could trade someone my pendulum. What do I have in my inventory here? Like everything, it seems. Except a pendulum for finding. I have a regular gold pendulum, 41.88 quality.
Yep.
Or is it regular? Maybe I just didn't. Yeah, it's regular. There's nothing. And it was created by Adam.
Oh, was it?
So
that must
I
have been
will
a long
trade
time
that
ago.
with somebody that has one that can find a champion.
Oh, they tweaked the champion spawn rates. That's cool. That's actually good to know. The question, though, still remains.
And then I would go up to it and I would completely fail at taming it.
Right.
I thought I had another pendulum actually somewhere. Let's see. I don't see it. Or is it in my inventory? Nope, there's barely anything in there. Nah, I probably got rid of it.
Have a pendulum. Nope. I don't carry a pendulum with me. It's not one of those things. Oh, wait, never mind. I lied.
He's got a pendulum.
I do have a pendulum. What do I carry a pendulum for?
Just in case.
We're the type of characters to carry one of everything just in case. Yeah. You know, there's people who meticulously carry just what they need for that particular play session. And then on their deed, they have a place for everything.
How does everybody play? Is that how most people play, or they just like have what they need for that play session and then they put it away at the end of their play session and then they go to their bed and sleep and then they come back on and they pick up what they want to do? Or do they play it like me and I just never look at my inventory? I just have so much stuff.
I mean, I have a fruit press and a regular press. I have some pliers. A range pole and a dioptra. Not like I ever use any of these
all
things.
Need at least one of those. A range pole and a dioptra right here. And a range pole.
Yep. Yeah.
I do have a pickaxe that's COC pickaxe still from you.
Okay.
Anyway, so what were we talking about?
Good.
Yeah, it's 6 quality, 89
We're talking
COC.
about a whole bunch of stuff, but champion battles.
Champion battles. We talked about what we want to do in future episodes, tutorials. That would be interesting. So far in my tutorials, I have written down that we should do one on cooking, papyrus making, fine carpentry, maybe farming. Sure, a bunch of harvesting classes.
We should possibly just go through all of the crafting skills again.
Every single crafting thing again. That'll be tough. But sure, we should prioritize ones that people actually want to see. We're gonna do the whole decoration competition sometime in the future.
Something I'm gonna have to get prepared for.
Yes, we both need that document. That who created the document? Catspur. We need that document.
I'm having trouble with my eyes.
Oh, because I definitely will not know. I'll run out of ideas.
Yeah, totally.
Should we just do them all in should we just go through all the skills here? From the top to the bottom. Would that be a boring episode? Be like, body. Body is for... will be the video Wurmpedia.
Yeah, that would be a super boring episode, I think.
But we can go through them, all the professions. I wonder what's the most interesting. What I would find the most interesting.
I really think that, it might be a better strategy to group them up. Like, for example, if we group up all the gathering skills together and then talked about them at the same time, because a lot of them have the similar sort of like way of leveling, like for example, digging, mining, and wood cutting, you would use the very same strategy for leveling those up. Each one has its own like little like differences, but those differences can be handled quite easily in terms of a tutorial by just talking about them. But they have a lot in common in terms of, you know, the strategy you'd use to level it up and quality of the outcome, you know, the quality of the, let's say, logs, how to get those maximized. Yeah. And then the same would go for, let's say, blacksmithing, carpentry, fine carpentry, like these main crafting skills. We can like group them up and just do one sort of episode on how to do the crafting in this game. I don't know. What do you think about that?
We could group up some of them. We definitely want to show each one in what's its uniqueness. But yeah, definitely can group up a bunch of them. A lot of the blacksmithing ones.
Like I watched a lot of Gamesters for Life tutorials, and they're great, very thorough, comprehensive, and everything. But I did find that a lot of the content was repetitive, especially when, you know, he'd finish talking about blacksmithing and then he'd go on to carpentry and he's saying like all the exact same things, just with different tool names. But everything else is pretty much the same, like how to use the interface to find the recipes within that skill, you know.
So then we separate it into different sections.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Anyway, it's been a long stream.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for watching. Congratulations to Orpheus for winning that rare bone, and thank you everyone for sticking around and continuing to watch our streams. We will definitely see you guys soon, and we are going to continue surface mining until our eyes bleed rocks. So, see you guys in the game. Take care. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care, everyone.
Have a good night, everybody.